Much better. Okay, Donald Nickham here, Southwestern Assembly of God University student. Interview with George Lauritsen, and we'll get started. Porter,
Good morning. How are you?
not too bad. Thanks for having me over. Just a quick interview, hopefully less than a half hour. Subject to be on leadership itself. Just out of curiosity, what was your first leadership position?
Probably in the United States Army. I made sergeant in 1971, January 1971. And that was probably really the first leadership, that I remember. Other than I had some jobs before that. Had a couple of people work with or for me or whatever. But that was probably the first one.
Mm-hmm. So how did that one work out for you as far as leadership?
Pretty good. It was a training environment and in a unit. And not too much responsibility, but if you got in charge of cutting grass or something like that, you were the sergeant, so you did that. But had a team sergeant and that kind of stuff, so it wasn't that big of a leadership position.
Okay, so not so much of a surprise at how you got into that position.
Right, just promotion and working my way up.
Making that rank. How long have you been in leadership?
Probably nonstop since then, because I spent 20 years and 8 months in the Army. When I got out, I was here about a year and a half when I went on the city council, and later got elected mayor. And so it's been pretty continuous ever since.
So a long time in leadership.
Yes, yeah, 40-some years probably.
Challenges. What are your top 5 leadership challenges? Think
of? Probably the biggest one is establishing relationships. That's the first thing you've got to do before you can really do too much else. And then as part of that relationship, you build trust. You set standards and work your way from there and put out the fires or put out what comes up. All the time taking concern of people and their opinions and that type of stuff, and working with people instead of having work for you.
showing a little compassion.
Yes. Yeah, empathy and compassion, and there's things that happen in their life and that kind of stuff. And one thing that I always do when I call somebody is ask them, did I catch them at a good time? Because I have no idea what's happening on the other end of that phone. You call, it interrupts their life. So that's just one of those pet peeve things of mine that I try to do.
Not maintaining that thing, and just because I'm in leadership doesn't give me the right to throw a monkey wrench in the middle.
You always have to be looking out and looking at the reaction, and probably the people that you build the trust in, or the people that you see doing the best job. You need to run by changes or anything past them, because those are the people that will carry the ball and get it done for you.
Mutual respect. Most rewarding leadership position?
Probably being a school principal. I was a school principal for 12 years in 3 different buildings. One I spent as a district administrator, being a superintendent of a small district, a K-8. And then I came over here and was principal 10 years in Fort Leonard. The schools there, and it ranged anywhere from 360 to I think one time we got over 480. And then the last year they had some changes and they moved me to a building that had 950 K1 and 2 students, and had 127 staff and all that. And that was pretty challenging, but made a lot of good headway. Actually went pretty smooth for being brand new in that building. But when you go in with that much experience and within the same district, and everybody knows you, and I knew a lot of the people there. So.
It helps.
Yes, it does. Just because
a little bit different work.
Yeah, when you work in a district, you work across grade levels and that kind of stuff, especially at the elementary level, and I would say the secondary. But, that was elementary. So you get to know a lot of those teachers, even though there's over 500 teachers in the district. So,
A lot of people. Yes. I guess pretty simple question though, but what kind of advice would you give to somebody who is thinking about getting into leadership? Not really thrown into it, but really thinking about, okay, what do I need to do to get into leadership?
well, I think education is probably key. You always need to be learning. You always need to be aware of the situation and what's taking place. But it also has to go with your personality and your goals and what you feel is important to you, whether you want to get in and make a difference, or you just want to be part of drawing a paycheck. I guess it all comes down to money, but there's certainly a higher level of motivation. And I've kind of learned that money does not motivate. It's commitment to what you're doing and belief in that. And, it's nice to get a good paycheck. I'm not saying that, but it's also that only lasts for a couple of weeks, and then you fall back because you can figure out how to spend that money.
Well, it depends on why you're going.
Yes.
What type of strengths do you have for leadership?
I think building relationships and building trust and building loyalty is a big part of my thing. I think that came from the military. Having a lot of commitment to mission, whatever that goal is. And no matter how high you go up, you work for somebody. As the current mayor of the city, I have to respond to the citizens, and so you always have to be looking towards that. Whatever you do is viewed by somebody else. That arrogance doesn't take you very far. So it's establishing those relationships, trust, and stuff. Getting back to that.
The flip side of the coin, what about weaknesses?
Oh, I think we all have weaknesses. Some of us like to talk about them, some of us don't. Probably, I do not let things pass. Things are not making the standard. I address it. Sometimes I do that too aggressively, but very quickly they understand where I'm at. And I don't do that to hurt anybody, based on what needs to be done. You get different people, and if they're not cut out for that job, sometimes they need to go away. So, but if they have the commitment and they're there for the right reasons, usually they're probably take care of it.
Now, in the position you're in now, in leadership overall, how hard would you say it is to actually cast vision? And by casting vision, I'm talking about being able to give the vision of where the organization is going, and then getting people on board that are under you to follow that vision.
Well, it comes down to the people and the direction. I think we see that in Congress. You got some very diverse opinions there, and the changes in leadership. The leadership has to pull that together. If they fail to do that, they need to step aside and let somebody else do it. As far as the city, or even when I was in the Army, I didn't see them as that different. People think they're that much different, but sometimes you end up in a leadership position that doesn't want to go where you want to go. So it's based on a fit. You have to fit where you're at. Sometimes the people from different areas have different goals, and you may not fit in that. Being around this area so many years, I knew what the goals are here, so it's a good fit for me. The school district was behind education, and that's what they did, so it worked really well. And the same way. But if you took me and plopped me into Walmart, they have their own corporate goals and everything. They may not be the same as what I believe in, and sometimes that doesn't work.
Okay, well, I thank you for your time, sir. I
That's
appreciate the
it?
information.